want to call to order the March 24th, 2015 meeting of the Oshkosh Common Council. I want to welcome those of you that are here in the council chambers to the council chambers. I also want to welcome those who might be watching us on Channel 10, those who might be watching on their computers, those who might be listening on their computers, those who might be listening on the radio. This is your city government. We do hope you'll participate in whatever way works for you. So welcome to all. I'm ask the clerk to take the roll call of council members.
Allison Osby. Here. Pansky. Here. Fitzgerald.
Here.
Cummings.
Here.
Peck.
Here.
Herman.
Here.
Tower.
Here.
Present 7.
Okay, I'm going to ask all to rise. We'll have the invocation immediately followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Deputy Mayor Allison Osby will have right there. Deputy Mayor Allison Osby will do the invocation. We'll let the students lead us in the pledge then.
We are mindful of the blessings of liberty that we have in this nation. May our decisions tonight improve the quality of life in our city and for our residents. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have our students turn around and hang around up front here. People want to see you out there, both on television and the people that are here in the council chambers. Well, we do appreciate you coming down and helping us out tonight. We'd like to find out a little bit about each one of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the microphone down and hold it up, speak into the microphone, and speak out to the folks out there and tell us your name, where you go to school, what grade you're in. Let us know maybe what your favorite class is and why it happens to be your favorite class.
My name is Chloe Tritt, and I go to school at Oakwood Elementary. I'm in 3rd grade, and I like reading because I like to read books.
My name is Lauren Trout. I go to Jacob Shapiro Elementary School. I am in 5th grade. My favorite subject is reading because I love to read.
My name is Mason Wiegand. I go to Jacob Shapiro. I'm in 5th grade, and I love recess because I like to get exercise.
My name is Jordan Geetman. I go to school at Oakwood Elementary. I'm in 3rd grade. My favorite subject is math because I love to learn.
Great job speaking into the microphone. Not everybody does such a good job each week, so you guys did a great job. What I want to do is show some appreciation here. I'm going to give each one a certificate that you can take home. So I'll pass them down here. Can we give them a hand? Yeah, both you and your parents are free to go. You don't have to stick around the rest of the night. So have a great evening. Again, thanks for coming down. Okay, that brings us to a public hearing. I'm going to read the public hearing 3 times. If you'd like to comment on the public hearing, please feel free to come up to the microphone, make your comments. Please come up to the microphone as I'm reading this 3 times. Resolution 15-120, approve and authorize submittal of City of Oshkosh CD/GB 2015-2019 Consolidated Plan and CD/GB 2015 Action Plan. Second reading, Resolution 15-120, approve and authorize submittal of City of Oshkosh CD/GB 2015-2019 Consolidated Plan and CD/GB 2015 Action Plan. Third and final reading, Resolution 15-120, approve and authorize submittal of City of Oshkosh CD/GB 2015-2019 Consolidated Plan and CDGB 2015 Action Plan. Anybody like to come forward? Mr. Davis, were you going to make some comments, or we can see if there are questions?
Just here to answer any questions at this point.
Okay. I'll bring it back to council for a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions?
Just one, Mayor. Just give us a little overview of what's all in the plan, and I noticed there's a comment about possibly waiving the rules. I know that pretty soon the consortium will be meeting. I don't know if it matters if this gets approved before that or not.
Yes, the consortium funding for the public service activities really doesn't have a bearing on your approval of the consolidated plan or the action plan, because we have just a set dollar amount that we're allocating to the public service activities.
So are there any parts of the whole grant program that you'd like to highlight or let citizens know what's in the plan and what they can look forward to or anything?
Well, every 5 years, the city has to approve a consolidated plan for our community development block grant program. And we look at different activities, affordable housing, low to moderate income activities, public service activities, economic development activities, anything that we can do to better the community and make a better living environment for persons living here. So that's what we're basically looking at with a many-page document that's before you. And then every year, as part of that, the city approves an action plan, and that would be based on an allocation of funding that HUD gives us every year. And our allocation for this, for 2015 program year, is $725,000. I think that's right, and a few odd change. And so every year they'll give us an allocation, and then we have to spend certain percentages on different activities. Public service activities, housing-related activities, benefits that will serve LMI, low to moderate income families.
Other questions or comments? I know over time the total amount of money has tended to come down. I think at one time, back when I started on this, we were over $1 million. Now we're down to $7.25. I think it came down fast for a while. How does this year compare to last year? They're pretty close to last year, I think,
down
aren't we?
another, like, almost $5,000.
Okay. Not much, but still, the trend is down. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Other questions, comments? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bring it back to council for any other questions, discussions regarding Resolution 15-120. Seeing none, I'll ask clerk to take the roll call vote on Resolution 15-120.
Allison Osby.
Aye.
Pansky.
Aye.
Fitzgerald.
Aye.
Cummings.
Aye.
Peck.
Aye.
Herman.
Aye.
Tower.
Aye.
Carried 7.
Okay, that takes us to citizen statements to the council. This is when citizens have an opportunity to come forward to the microphone, which is now open, to make any comments they might want to make about the city, positive or negative. If there's some things you think are going particularly well and you want to comment on it, we always appreciate that. If you have some concerns, we're always interested in getting that kind of input. So, if you do come down, there are a few little rules we have here. Limit your comments to no more than 5 minutes. Give us your name. Also give us your address. Speak directly to the council. There's to be no electioneering, and this is not the time to speak about items that are specifically on the business agenda. I see no one coming forward, so we'll move to the consent agenda. The consent agenda is made up of a number of items, which the administration feel are non-controversial in nature. As such, they're presented as a package to the council, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through these items. As I read through the items, if you'd like to comment on a particular item, when I read that item, I'd appreciate it if you'd come up to the microphone to make whatever comments on that item that you might have. Then we'll bring it back to the council for questions, discussions, and then we'll put it up for a vote at that point in time. If either a citizen or a council member desires to have a particular item removed from the consent agenda and considered separately, we will do it. I'll just automatically do it. Okay, I'll start reading through the items. Approval of bills presented by the Finance Director. Receipt and filing of Common Council minutes from March 10, 2015. Resolution 15-121, approve amendment to previously approved plan development at 495 Pearl Avenue to allow division of a single parcel in 2 parcels. Resolution 15-122, approve acquisition of property in TID 14 from Winnebago County for back taxes, 600 block of Grove Street. Resolution 15-123, award bids for various road materials for 2015 for the Street Division to Michaels Materials, MCC, Inc., and Northeast Asphalt, Inc. Resolution 15-124, award bid for Public Works contract number 15-04 to Carl Bowers and Sons Construction Company, Inc., for concrete paving and utility projects, East Side area, Parkway Avenue, and Mount Vernon Street. Resolution 15-125, award bid for Public Works contract number 15-50 to Jossert Brothers, Inc., for concrete paving utility projects, North Side area, New York Avenue, and Custer Avenue. Resolution 15-126, award bid for Public Works contract number 15-21 to Joseph Schmidt and Sons Construction Company, Inc., for Public Works Field Operations Facility, Phase 3. Resolution 15-127, approve and submit 2014 Stormwater Program Annual Report to Department of Natural Resources. Resolution 15-128, award bid for nozzles to Fire Department to W.S. Darley and Company. Resolution 15-129, award bid for zero-turn riding tractor for Parks Department to Reenders, Inc. Resolution 15-130, award bid for 1-ton 4 WD four-wheel drive pickup truck for Street Division to L&S Truck Center. Resolution 15-131, award bid for multi-purpose tractor for Street Division to Industrial Marketing and Consulting. Resolution 15-132, award bids for various water materials and brass goods for 2015 for the Water Utility Division to Ferguson Water Works and HD Supply Water Works. Resolution 15-133, approve purchase of vehicles for Police Department from Ewald's Hartford Ford. Resolution 15-137, award bid for industrial wastewater sampling and analysis services for wastewater utility to Badger Laboratories and Engineering, Inc. Resolution 15-135, award bid for brush chipper for Forestry Division to Vermeer, Wisconsin, Inc. Resolution 15-136, approve 2015-2017 heart monitor maintenance agreement for Fire Department to Physio Control, Inc. Resolution 15-137, approve one-year lease agreement extension with Winnebago County for rental of the Public Safety Building. Resolution 15-138, approval of special event. I'm going to have a number of special events. I won't say special event each time. Oshkosh JCs to utilize South Park for their Easter egg hunt, April 4, 2015. Resolution 15-139, UWO LGBTQ Resource Center to utilize city streets for the 6th Annual Fox Valley LGBTQ Ally March, and then that's on April 15, 2015. Resolution 15-140, Wesley United Methodist Church utilized South Park and city streets for their Imagine No Malaria Walk, April 25, 2015. Resolution 15-141, approval of special event again, runaway events to utilize Menominee Park and city streets for the Runaway to the Bay, April 25, 2015. Resolution 15-142, Webster Stanley Elementary PTO to utilize Hazel Street and Menominee Park for their Webster Stanley Elementary Walk, Run, Play, April 25, 2015. Resolution 15-143, Walleye Adventure Guide Service, LLC, to utilize Rainbow Park for their Fishing for Freedom, May 16, 2015. Resolution 15-144, Hoagie's Bar to utilize Menominee Park for their Hoagie's Walleye Warm-Up, May 23, 2015. Resolution 15-145, Esther, Fox Valley, to utilize Opera House Square for their Freedom Summer Comes Home, June 7, 2015. Resolution 15-146, Oshkosh Chamber of Commerce to utilize Opera House Square for their Live at Lunch, June 17, 2015 through August 12, 2015, every Wednesday. Resolution 15-147, Waterfest to utilize Leach Amphitheater for their Waterfest Concert Series, June 18, 2015 through August 27, 2015, every Thursday. Resolution 15-148, Vietnam Veterans of America to utilize streets This is an amended route going to CP Street, Bowen Street, and East Irving Avenue, Menominee Park for their 4th of July parade, July 4, 2015. Resolution 15-149, Oshkosh Ambassadors Senior Softball to utilize Menominee Park for their Major Classic Senior Softball Tournament, August 13, 14, 15, and 16, 2015. Resolution 15-150, Color Vibe 5K to utilize EAA grounds for their Color Vibe 5K, September 12, 2015. Resolution 15-151, disallowance of claim by Susan Barlow. Resolution 15-152, disallowance of claim by Douglas Posh. Resolution 15-153, disallowance of claim by Dennis and Melanie Bleckel. Resolution 15-154, approval of combination Class B license, Class C wine license, agent change for combination Class B license, special Class B licenses, and operator licenses. One more chance for anybody to come forward who wants to speak to any of these. Seeing no one come forward, I'll bring it back to the council for any comment, questions, or any requests to remove an item from the consent agenda.
Just one question, Mayor.
Sure.
Resolution 15-122, acquisition of property in the 600 block of Grove Street. Who owned that property? It said that we're acquiring it for back taxes.
I think Mr. Davis is going to come up and answer that question. Or try to answer it.
And try to answer that question. I believe it's an LLC, but I don't remember the name of the LLC. It had, I can't remember it off the top of my head.
This goes
Sorry.
back a number of years with that whole development.
Yes, it's 3 years' worth of back taxes that we'd be purchasing it for.
Okay. That's fine. Thank you.
Other questions or
Yeah,
comments? Yeah, Mr. Turner.
On that, Mr. Davis, it looks like Winnebago County got it in foreclosure on back taxes. Could you just kind of, there's an agreement, looks like in this thing, could you just kind of go over what your community development is looking at doing with the property? I know that in our documentation, we're getting it from Winnebago County, there's a partnership with the Housing Authority and things, so if you just want to give us a little
We have a plan right now.
Right, it's just a plan.
At this point in time, nothing's in stone. We are looking at partnering with some of our housing providers, the Housing Authority and Habitat, and even some developers for developing some handicapped accessible units, some market rate units, and a community garden that would be incorporated into the neighborhood, which is a high priority for the Menominee South Neighborhood Association. So we're thinking we're addressing a lot of the housing needs that we've identified, as well as making some improvements to the neighborhood, implementing the design standards we adopted recently, and blending with the kind of transition from Mercy Medical into these units into the residential neighborhood that's already there. So it'll be a nice complement to everything that's there.
It's in a tax increment financing District 14 that follows everything that's currently in that district?
Yes, in fact, it was most important to staff that all these properties become taxable, so they will be owner-occupied when all the development is completed.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Just one question on 15-137. And I apologize for not being able to get to you on this a little earlier, Mr. Roloff. Why the delay with this being expiring in 2014, and this is just coming forward? And then the second question is, are we looking at, it notes that we will be discussing a long-term lease?
Yeah, a couple things. One was we could have simply let it go to be a month-to-month lease, but as you know, there have been discussions at the county about potentially changing some of their court security situation over there. If they did that, that might necessitate moving all the courts over there, so we wanted to make sure we had them at least committed for the remainder of the year. We did discuss increasing the price. That would have required county board approval. Rather than going to the county board, we just did a simple extension. But we do believe that the market for rents in the downtown area are probably warranted to increase a little bit. So we want to do some research and get to the county before we ask for another another extension of the lease. And then depending on what they want to do with whatever they do with the courts, then they can tell us how long they want to commit for.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to make a comment on Resolution 15-148, which is the 4th of July parade. As you mentioned, there is a change in the route, and I just wanted to compliment Rick Wing and his group and Ann Hausch, and that for taking our concerns into consideration, that the original route going down Division was going to probably be a very difficult location for, and putting it back to the original location, that the parade went down on CP down to Bone back when Main Street was under construction. I think that's a much better way to have the parade, and a lot more citizens will be able to enjoy the parade, and that giving a lot more opportunity for parking and things that won't be quite so congested in the downtown area for that day. So just want to make a appreciation that they listen to our concerns. Thank you.
Further questions? Questions? Have anything pulled? Not seeing that, I'll ask for a motion and a second on the consent agenda as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Another chance for any questions or discussions on the consent agenda as submitted. Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to take the roll call vote on the consent agenda as submitted.
Allison Osby?
Aye.
Pansky?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Cummings?
Aye.
Peck?
Aye.
Herman?
Aye.
Tower?
Aye.
Carried 7.
Okay, there were no items removed from the consent agenda, which will take us to pending ordinances. These have already had one reading, but we'll read them tonight and put them up for approval. The first one is ordinance 15-155, approve request to attach to city from town of Nakai, Plainview voluntary attachment. Anybody like to come forward to speak to that? See no one, I'll bring it back to council for a motion and second on ordinance 15-155.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and second. Any questions, discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask clerk to take the roll call vote on ordinance 15-155.
Allison Osby?
Aye.
Pansky?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Cummings?
Aye.
Peck?
Aye.
Herman?
Aye.
Tower?
Aye.
Carried 7.
Takes us to ordinance 15-156, approve request to annex to city from town of Oshkosh, stormwater utility annexation number 1, fronting on Jackson Street and North Main Street, north of Bacon Street. I'd like to come forward. Seeing no one come forward, I'll bring it back to council for a motion and second on ordinance 15-156.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask clerk to take the roll call vote on ordinance 15-156.
Allison Osby?
Aye.
Pansky?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Cummings?
Aye.
Peck?
Aye.
Herman?
Aye.
Tower?
Aye.
Carried 7.
Okay, that takes us to ordinance 15-157, approve request to annex to city from town of Oshkosh, stormwater utility annexation number 2, fronting on North Main Street. Well, I'd come forward to speak to that. Seeing no one come forward, bring it back to council.
So moved.
Motion, a second.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any questions? Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask clerk to take the roll call vote on ordinance 15-157.
Allison Osby?
Aye.
Pansky?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Cummings?
Aye.
Peck?
Aye.
Herman?
Aye.
Tower?
Aye.
Carried 7.
Okay, it takes us to new ordinances. Typically on a new ordinance, they have readings at 2 council meetings unless there's a request for a waiver. So I'll go through these 2. This is the first reading tonight, although as we'll see, there is a request for a waiver on the first one. As I read the ordinance, if you'd like to make comment on it, please come up to the microphone. The first one is ordinance 15-158, approve temporary suspension of bicycle registration fees from April 1st to May 20th, 2015. The Bike and Pedestrian Committee recommended approval. There has been a request for a waiving of the second reading. Anybody like to come up, comment on this? Okay, I'm going to bring this back to the council to see if there's a motion to waive the second reading.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to waive the second reading and adopt this on the first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask clerk to take the roll call vote on the motion to waive the second reading on ordinance 15-158.
Allison Osby?
Aye.
Pansky?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Cummings?
Aye.
Peck?
Aye.
Herman?
Aye.
Tower?
Aye.
Carried 7.
Okay, the second reading has been waived, so I would look for a motion for ordinance 15-158.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions, discussion? Seeing none, ask clerk to take the roll call vote on ordinance 15-158.
Allison Osby.
Aye.
Pansky.
Aye.
Fitzgerald.
Aye.
Cummings.
Aye.
Peck.
Aye.
Herman.
Aye.
Tower.
Aye.
Carried 7.
Okay, it takes us to the second new ordinance. This will be the first reading of this ordinance, so people can comment if they'd like to tonight. It will be brought up at the next meeting for approval. Ordinance 15-159, approval of time limit, permit, and lease parking enforcement hours in municipal parking lots. If anybody would like to comment on that, they can come up to the microphone. Seeing no one come up, again, this will be read at the next meeting and brought up for possible passage by the council at the next meeting. So there will be opportunity for comment at the next meeting also. New resolutions. Resolution 15-160, award bid for Public Works contract number 15-23, Work Unit A, Riverside Park Parking Lot Phase 2, Work Unit B and Alternate B1, Boatworks River Walk Parking Lot, Alternate Work Unit C, Boatworks Riverwalk Water Main Extension, Vinton Construction. Anybody like to come up and speak to that? Seeing no one coming up, we'll bring it back to council for a motion and a second on Resolution 15-160.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions, discussion? Yeah, Mr. Cummings.
I'll defer to
Mr.
Mr.
Peck.
Cummings.
I was just going to ask Mr. Davis to explain what this is. I think we all know what it is, but I think if people watching or listening, they would.
If I can just add, because last night at the State of the City, we talked about our infrastructure development as well as our quality of life assets development, so this kind of ties in.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
The project we're talking about is 2 parking lots, one for Riverside Park, which is there by the Convention Center and the Leach Amphitheater. The other parking lot is the proposed parking lot at the end of Michigan Street where the Boatworks property is located. If you recall, we bid these items together so we get the best bid possible. The financing or the payment for the contractor is the kind of the wrinkle in the project. TIF number 15 will be paying for the construction of the Riverside Park project, largely because the beneficiary of that project will come from TID 15, which is the 4Imprint property in the downtown, and they're looking for more parking, so this is a temporary thing to provide more parking for employees at City Center and 4Imprint. The Boatworks property has 2 elements to it. One is the parking lot itself, which is funded with grant funds and that we've obtained over the last couple of years. That will help provide access to the trail and the kayak launch and the shelter and bathroom that we'll also build at the end of Michigan Street. The water main project is looping 2 dead-end mains that'll provide better water flow and fire protection to the neighborhood and future development of the Morgan District. So all of them have separate funding sources, but they're all accomplishing those improvements to improve the quality of life and help our economic development prospects along the riverfront.
And the grant funding is already in the bank, so to speak.
It's a reimbursement. It's already been awarded. They're just waiting for us to send canceled checks and receipts and things like that.
And we're sure to get
We've got to
it
be able to
based
do-
on the discussions that are down in Madison.
This is money we received last year, so that's been awarded. You bring up a good point. They're trying to cut future. We'd love to be able to keep doing these projects, and having that fund available keeps our projects going.
Right, okay. Thank you.
Any other comments? Yeah.
Quick question, and I don't know if this is one for you, Mr. Davis, or for Mr. Pontek or Mr. Roloff, but on the Riverside parking lot, any idea when that project is starting? And I guess I'm wondering, with all of the events that happen over the summer at Leach, that's a popular place to park. Is there alternatives that are recommended for?
Yeah, you give them the good news.
Okay, that's going to be done, I believe, by June 9th. It'll be done by June 9th.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be done as quickly as possible before all those big events happen this summer.
Okay.
Question off of that. That being said, is that a stipulation in the contract that it will
Absolutely.
be done by that time? And if not, there's a penalty?
Yes, liquidated damages. I don't remember the number off the top of my head.
If you take a look at the we had an option to spread it out over the course of the year and not give them as hard a deadline. And the break we were getting was only $10,000. And for the urgency of getting it done, and Counselor Fitzgerald, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Okay.
There's tons of events going on that begin in June. So we felt that $10,000 was not worth everything that we, as a community, have invested in our events for the summer. With respect to the Boatworks property, as the resolution shows, we are going to take advantage of that because, for a couple reasons. One is, Boatworks is not as visible, and it's more of a connection than it is a destination like Riverside Park is. And the other part of it is, we figure if we give them more leeway on the Boatworks property, they may put more, they'll put resources into getting Riverside Park done. So it was a little bit of a strategic move on our part, and we think it'll pay off by getting it done in time. And they're ready to go, bidding at this time of the year. They're going to get rolling on this. I believe the pre-construction meeting is going to be April 1 or something like. They're going to get started
April, I think.
immediately after Easter.
Okay.
Any other questions? Anything? We'll have Mr. Davis up here. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Okay, seeing no questions or further discussion on this item, I ask clerk to take the roll call vote on Resolution 15-160.
Allison Osby?
Aye.
Pansky?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Cummings?
Aye.
Pack?
Aye.
Herman?
Aye.
Tower?
Aye.
Carried 7.
Takes us to Resolution 15-161, approval of professional services agreement for environmental services, permitting, parking lot design, preparation of special conditions for construction documents, bidding assistance, and construction management for proposed parking lot improvements at existing lot adjacent to the Senior Center South, AECOM. Anybody like to come forward to speak to that? Seeing no one come forward, I'll bring it back to council for a motion and second on Resolution 15-161.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, discussion? Seeing none, I'll take the roll call vote on Resolution 15-161.
Allison Osby?
Aye.
Pansky?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Cummings?
Aye.
Pack?
Aye.
Herman?
Aye.
Tower?
Aye.
Carried 7.
Okay, it takes us to Resolution 15-162, which is establish a council rule to require council members to receive agenda packets in electronic format. Should say this goes along with distributing to council members tablets. Anybody like to come forward and speak to that? See no one come forward, I'll bring it back to the council for a motion and a second on Resolution 15-162.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Questions, discussions? Seeing none, I'll ask clerk to take the roll call vote on Resolution 15-162.
Allison Osby?
Aye.
Pansky?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Cummings?
Aye.
Pack?
Aye.
Herman?
Aye.
Tower?
Aye.
Carried 7.
I think that was, wow, 6 1/4.
What?
It's only like 6 1/4 vote to me, I don't know.
Everybody had plenty of opportunity, had a month, so also, so.
Already got them both.
There'll be ample training sessions.
Well, if you read it, there's ample training sessions or backup plans.
Well-
A number of things will be done, so.
You know, maybe we can get the Oshkosh North students in to tutor us, who would do the tutoring on electronics over at the
The seniors get
senior
tutoring
center.
for you.
The award winners
Okay.
from last night.
I was there at
We
the lunch
we do have Tony, coming, so. We'll be fine. Okay, council discussion, direction of city manager and future agenda items. First one's Go EDC update.
At this point, no other updates other than what we had at the kickoff launch. Mr. White's still on schedule to start on April 13th, so I know he's been following what's been going on. He wished us well with other events, so he's very anxious to get started, and so that's really about it that I have right now.
If I can just ask, and I understand Mr. White might even be around a little earlier than that, but would it be appropriate to extend an invitation to him to come to that April 14th meeting, just to introduce him to the public? Or is that too soon in
No,
the
that's
start
a
of his
great
time?
idea, and I wish I could have said, oh, yeah, I already thought of that.
Yeah.
I thought of it now, so that's a good, I'll make sure that he does
If it's
that.
too soon at the start of his, tenure, it's certainly understandable, but given the fact that he's in town, and I think he might even be getting started a little sooner than that date from...
That's a great idea.
What I understand.
I'll pass that on to him.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or thoughts, questions? Okay, future agenda items. Workshop to review health insurance program, date to be determined. Any thoughts on that?
I just wanted to put it out there to kind of keep it on the, it really is for the new council. If they having a workshop right now, it wouldn't be very fruitful, but I think we're probably looking at May. We are in the process of selecting, we've gone out for proposals for our insurance consultant, and we're going to be making a recommendation in the coming weeks. We want that person to be on board to assist us with this.
Right. The notes that I had made was that we schedule this as soon as possible once new council is seated, because this is going to have a very large impact on on the budget for 2016.
Will do.
Any other comments on it? Update on inactive liquor license Tilted Kilt.
Not sure if we have any more update than
No.
the last time.
No, we don't.
So the year will be up, and we'll send out the notice, and if necessary, we'll go through the process that we similarly went through for the, what was the one we just did a few months ago? All goes in the back of your memory, but there was another one. Timbuktu, thank you. So we'll do that and give them the opportunity, but we have notified them in advance. I still think it's a great process, even though people have waited until the year's up before they come back and plead before the council. They could simply fix it by just sending us a letter, but I guess they must like seeing the 7 of you. So we'll invite them to come to a meeting and plead their case.
Okay, any other questions or other future agenda?
Just before we move on, it's not really a future agenda item, but it is could be under council discussion. I would just like to recognize a gentleman in the audience tonight who will be leaving us. He sits in the near future, Jeff Bollier, who attends probably more meetings than a lot of us do, but has done a tremendous job. I have the utmost respect for Jeff. He is very knowledgeable in what he does. He researches things, and he has informed the community on many, many things that are happening in Oshkosh, why they happen. And Jeff, Green Bay's gain or the Valley's gain is Oshkosh's loss, but don't be a stranger and keep Calvin around for us, okay?
Okay, it takes us to citizen statements to council. Once again, it's another opportunity to come forward. Please give us your name and address if you come to the microphone. Limit your comments to no more than 5 minutes. Speak directly to the council. No electioneering, and nothing that's on the business agenda can be discussed at this time.
My name is Patricia Dietner. I live at 1316 Broad. Come to you this evening in regard to the good makeover we're going to have in our neighborhood. Habitat of Humana is going to be building a new home. They're going to be tearing it down next month. And how it's remarkable how we can get people in here to do business at no cost. We had Army soldiers come, they got out of the service, and they started their tree service, and they did all the work. It's remarkable what they do, and how you can take the wood and make it into a good thing out of it. And I was heard, I don't know how true it is, if Dave Potek is leaving. If he is, I wish him the best. I know he's done a lot. He sits there a lot of times and that says nothing, but I'll tell you, he's hears my voice all the time. And I will be doing it all the time. I don't care who takes your spot. Things need to be done in the city, and stuff shouldn't be neglected. I called a few times already in regard to the street they plan on doing. We had 1.5 to 2 foot potholes over there. You know how fast they came and did it? They took care of it right away. And that's what we need, somebody to blow the horn. I mean, the employees don't like it, but we don't like it either when things are not fixed. And I wish everybody, Easter's coming up. I will be at Father Carr's, our family, doing the meal, and it's open to the public. We'll be serving meals outward and inward, and we wish you, if you don't have a place, to come and join us. It's a real good time out there. There's families that don't have no home, or they've been broken up, and it's nice that you can do something for someone.
Thank you. Anybody else like to come forward at this time?
Hello, my name is Dale Monday. I live at 941 West 12th Ave. I'd like to know why the city wants to put a new sanitary sewer line in on our road, since our road is the nicest road around. It's nice and smooth. We have no potholes, no cracks. Now the city wants to dig it all back up. Do you guys know why, by any chance?
I'm sure you could inquire, Mr. Patek.
That section of street has some bad sanitary sewer that was discovered after the bad winter we had over 2013 and 2014. So we put it in the capital improvement program, or have done some analysis, and we have some utility needs out there.
Okay, why couldn't we put a liner in it instead? This way here, we don't disturb the ground. We don't have to worry about water lines breaking at all.
Right. I think that there's some issues with the sanitary sewer being too shallow, and not only is it, because it's in bad condition, we would look at improving the operation of the sanitary sewer when we redid it. So there's a couple issues that we're trying to address in that block.
Okay. What I'm afraid of is once you guys start disturbing the ground, the water lines might start to break. We haven't had a water leak or broken line in 40 years on that road yet. And it's in good shape, as far as I know.
The pavement's in good shape?
Yes.
Right.
That road is so smooth, it's unreal. Come on down and ride our road once, you'll see. It's nice. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else like to come forward? Comment? Seeing none, I'll come back. City manager, announcements and statements.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There is a memo in your, there's a memo in your packet regarding engineering services. This is we do construction materials testing, test the concrete, put it in the roads, make sure it's okay. We've hired a firm to do that, Professional Services Industries. They did it for us this past year. We were pleased with their service, and we're going to continue to do it again. And then just on a personal note, I want to thank everybody for helping out with State of the City. You can see with what little I've said tonight, I've already started to lose my voice. I would not have been a good person to be there in the seat last night. I appreciate John Fitzpatrick's help with that. And I've heard a lot of good comments that people had. I haven't had a chance to view everything. I just saw the video portion of it in advance. So I'll take a look at it later on. And somebody, I think the mayor referred to, good bench strength, and I think that's great. I just hope that for those of you who follow football, I hope that I'm not Drew Bledsoe, who was the person who preceded Tom Brady and left because of injury. So just saying that. But I really do appreciate the staff stepping forward and coming forward with everything. But you could see from the video that we had a really great presentation ready, and Fitz just did a wonderful job, and I want to thank him for that.
So I guess now would be the wrong time to break out Mr. Fitzpatrick's new name tag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get me a little itchy if you did that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Also, I'd ask you to pass on the comments to OCMS and the folks down there who put together that just incredible video and the program for the night. They did a lion's share of the work. The rest of us come in and they make us look pretty and all those kinds of things, which is not an easy task. They did a great job.
They make us look very good.
It was a first-class presentation I put together. So.
Well, pass on our thanks to them. Okay, that takes us to motion to go into closed session, so I'm going to ask Deputy Mayor Allison Osby to read the motion.
The council may convene into closed session to discuss bargaining options, strategy, and parameters related to the negotiation of an agreement with the Grand Opera House Foundation for lease and operation of the Grand Opera House pursuant to Section 19.851E of the Wisconsin State Statutes where competitive bargaining reasons require a closed session.
Is there a second? Second. Anybody like to come forward to speak to that? Council going into closed session? Seeing no one come forward, we'll bring back any questions, discussions about this? Seeing none, I'll ask clerk to take the roll call vote on the motion to go into closed session.
Allison Osby?
Aye.
Pansky?
Aye.
Fitzgerald?
Aye.
Cummings?
Aye.
Heck?
Aye.
Herman?
Aye.
Tower?
Aye.
Carried 7.
Okay, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned. We'll get into the...